You know, most of what children do is criticised in the media, demonised sometimes. When the first games came out, people were worried that their children were becoming addicted to them. I never heard anybody worrying about children becoming addicted to books. You know? I used to read a book under the covers in my bed at night, and we had a little torch to light it up for hours. If I was under there with my Nintendo DS, you know, people would worry I was becoming addicted. Children love immersion, and they love to really get their heads into things and stay with them for a long time. Stories, games, relationships, you know, they love to be immersed in things. And that's a really important part of what games bring to all this. But for parents, it's hugely important that children can talk about what they're doing. Too often, I think, the children are playing the game, the parents are somewhere else, you know, have no idea of the complexity of what's going on there. And I think parents should make a point of talking to the children about what's happening. How did you solve that problem? What did you do? What were you expecting? Because the children are in a tight little cycle of iteration. You know, they sort of look at the screen and they can see something coming towards them, and they think, gosh, my hypothesis is the things always move from this side across the screen, so if I hide behind this wall, I'll be safe here. And then suddenly, you know, one appears from the other side of the screen. Oh, you know, I have to think of a new strategy. And they're always in that cycle of observe, question, hypothesize, test. It's important that parents ask them about the problem solving they're in, because being in that observe, question, hypothesize, test cycle isn't enough. You need to be able to articulate that as well. And solving problems is important. Coping with surprises is important. Talking about how you did it is fundamental. So you have to have those together, and that's a key role for parents, I think, in all this. You know, parents will never be any good at skateboarding, but there are things you can say about road safety. Teachers will never be any good at skateboarding, but they can talk about Newtonian physics. You know, the child jumps on the skateboard and it flies up in the air, you know. Parents will never be as good as their children at video games, but they have a key role in all this. And it's that role of asking and listening.